Okay, I'm not quite sure what I'm mulligan for in this game, but I decided I should start recording it kind of in the middle of turn one. I think that was a good choice. Okay, so he's got a Blackmail Artist with one and a Bayushi Manipulator. He left his favorite niece and Yunako at home. I just allowed a single Border Rider because I figured he'd probably assassinate it, and I went second. I wanted to have a really strong second turn with Eat a Traitor. I don't really like. I don't know. He snipes my spyglass here, which is crazy. That was not what I was expecting. So he plays an adept. He's trying to break. He's going for an aggressive breaking strategy. I'm thinking about maybe I'll put my Wayfinder into the conflict to make him use more cards. I'm just kind of looking at my hand. Like, I could do a bunch of things. It's probably not worth it. Like, I hate that the Black Artist proc is really strong. But at the same time, like, there's not that much I can do about it. It's probably not worth doing anything, and that's what I decided. I'm just like, well, shit happens. Okay, he's gonna honor his Blackmail Artist, which honestly I don't really understand, but whatever. Whatever floats your boat. And I honestly don't care about this province. Child of the Plains it doesn't matter. I have tons of one costs in this deck. It's like a swarm deck, weenie deck, and yeah, I was not pleased that the Spyglass got discarded. Random Ring of Earth with 9 cards in my hand. But what are you gonna do? And now I'm doing military fire, and the reason I'm doing fire is because first of all I want to put dishonor pressure on him. I don't want him to do it, and if I win, then I dishonor his manipulator, which doesn't mean he can't break provinces, but I mean he can break provinces anyway. He could return his Adept of Shadows to hand and cast it again, play it again, and there's really nothing I can do about that. I mean, I can stop him from breaking by playing stuff, but I want to save as much money as I can because I am planning on getting the trader, and really it'd be nice if I could get the trader and Satoshi. And I'm going to Voltron the shit out of them, and it's going to snowball me so hard that it doesn't matter that I had a hard first turn. And this first turn definitely isn't going very well. And I hit Pilgrimage, so um, I think he does end up assassinating me here. And I think he was thinking about just letting it bounce and assassinating me later. But I think he wanted the Ring of Fire. Or something, I'm not sure. Anyway, I think he does assassinate me here. Yeah, he does. Which, I mean, is bad, but that's why I played with no fade because against Scorpion specifically, you just got to expect that your first weenie is going to be assassinated, and so you want to invest just enough to make it worth assassinating, but not enough to make it hurt when they assassinate it. You just got to assume, Border Rider's 2 cost. It's a really good 2 cost. It's very threatening. Like, there's no way he's not going to assassinate it. I still have a Wayfinder in hand if I want to. And I am under a lot of pressure here. He's got a huge advantage because he's got one break and he's about to get another one. He just had a really really good hand, like for the things that I was trying to do. He had he had every card that mattered. So I'm gonna charge in Satoshi, and he will edict that. And then I'm like, okay, well he probably doesn't have 2 edicts. So then I'm gonna play the Wayfinder and Bonsai it, and he's gonna edict that too. And normally I would use the Wayfinder to get my own attack, but I felt like letting him break 2 in round 1 just seemed like a terrible idea. And so I was trying to prevent the break. But there's just nothing for it. So I'm thinking, okay, well I can prevent his break with the Wayfinder. And the Wayfinder, if he dishonors, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to put it with one fate because bodies are important. This also lets me find out what, what other stuff is. It's possible that I should have played it before I attacked with the Border Rider, so I knew what I was attacking into, but I think it worked out just fine. Oh yeah, this way I get Shameful, which is pretty, pretty useful. I don't know if it's that useful. It would have been better to charge and then Shameful. But it doesn't matter because no matter what I do, he's going to double Forged Edict anyway. I kind of have mixed feelings about his double Forged Edict here because on the one hand, it prevents, like, on the one hand, he gets 2 breaks. But on the other hand, like, he wins by dishonor. In the the sort of the moral of the story is he wins by dishonor, and so his breaks, they matter because they put him under a lot of pressure, but they don't matter that much. And he couldn't. There's a lot of important things. Yeah, so then he had the charge. He just like had everything he needed in this turn. It felt bad, man. And maybe my bad because I could have saved. I actually could have saved the province by waiting for Shameful Display since it was only a 1 swing, and I already had it. If he'd played the Niece and he couldn't have played the Niece if I hadn't Shameful before. So whatever. I mean, this is bad, but like, he's gonna lose in 1 honor. He's gonna be down at 6 because he's gonna return the adept to his hand. He's gonna lose another honor to be down at 5 because Manipulator is dishonored. The Blackmail Artist is dishonored. Like, it's not like he's burning through his honor pretty fast. It's turn 1. I have a pretty good dishonor game because I'm running a deck with a ton of weenies, and I have a lot of card draw. Now, granted, he just ditched one of my spyglasses, so that's not so great. But I do have, I have 5 fate left. I've got a Trader. He didn't attack it for some reason, which is unknown to me. Yeah, we're just talking randomly here. So I think I'm in not a bad position. A lot of people would tilt at this point. I don't know why he had discarded his policy debate. That doesn't make any sense to me. Although I might not. I'm gonna have a lot of good targets because I've got a lot of like 1 cost 1 zeros or whatever. And so this is the thing with Scorpion. It's like, it feels bad when they edict all your shit, but you also have to like account the edicts. Or against Crane, I count the Voice of Honors. It's like, well, that comes at a price. It always comes at a price. And the price is those factions, the factions with counters in them tend to be vulnerable. And that's why they have counters. And so you just got to really abuse that vulnerability later. And I definitely do. Like I come very, very, very close to winning this game. And it's part of why I want to commentate it, because I'm trying to think about like, how do you play from behind? Because I'm definitely behind right now. I'm not crazy behind. He's functionally at, so he re-honors this Blackmail Artist. So he's going to be at 5 honor at the end of the turn. I'm at 8 with 1 honored guy on the table. I've got 4 cards, he's got 5. So it's really not bad. Like, his stronghold is really strong, so that's kind of a big deal. But, he's only going to steal so much before I get lower than him. I've got cavalry reserves, and I've got a decent buildup of dudes. And the Trader, the Trader could be really big. We'll see. I really need the favored mount. The Trader is actually not that useful right now. I figure I can afford to invest a little bit more now because he really can't afford to assassinate. Like, he could assassinate, be at 2 honor, maybe go to 4, maybe go to 4 or 5. So that's still pretty risky. So I play the Mishota Wielder because it's, one is cheap. And I'm going to play my Border Rider with 2 Fate here because I've got a reprieve. And then I figure, like, yeah, sure, it's good. He could Calling in Favors my reprieve and then assassinate the Border Rider. But that's 2 cards. He's only got 5. I think I maybe should have put 2. Maybe I was saving for, yeah, because I've got Cloud, I've got Reprieve, I've got Cavalry. I'm just going to bid 5 with him. He might bid 1, but it's pretty unlikely, and I don't think it's that good for him if he does. Yeah, so the Trader's not that useful right now because I don't have any way to make it Cavalry, unfortunately. But I'm going to Reprieve the Border Rider. Border Rider's really strong. Trader is strong, eventually. You know, eventually I'm going to buy it. I'm going to get the stuff. It's possible I should have just waited. I could have cast the warrior. I could have played the warrior poet instead. That might have been better. The thing about the trader is it's like one of the best like cards in the game, but it's only good if you give it like favored amount of spyglass. And the next game that I played, I really abused the trader and Voltroned it really hard, and it's really good when you do that. But this game, I wasn't able to utilize it that well. It's also why Reprieve fits so well in this deck. Like Reprieve, I don't like Reprieve and Scorpion as much because a lot of what Scorpion's about is getting people out. You get, you know, you dishonor them in various ways, and you're just like, okay, cool. You have a cool ability. I don't care if you're dishonored. And then eventually you're like, okay, well, whatever. You died. I didn't care. In Unicorn, you can Voltron up the same person. I had like, you know, like 10 attachments on the same trader in the game that followed this one, and two of them are restricted. And it turns out it's pretty good. Like you know, it's really good. I don't even have that many ways to embow them. You know, I really should have. I guess drink water. With the trader though, it doesn't feel that bad though. You don't really need to embow it as much because you're just drawing so many cards. I kind of want to run 3 I am ready and just like play my trader with like 6 fate on turn 2. Okay, so what am I choosing here? I'm choosing water. I'm going first, I'm choosing water. I'm choosing water because I'm planning on clouding his actress, and I want to bow one of the blackmail artists so he can't steal as much honor. You know, because controlling the honor game is really important versus Scorpion, and because I play Dishonor so much, you know, I'm really aware of that. Attacking them, you know, he's down to the point where like he really has to defend most of my attacks because you know, let's like assume that he didn't defend either of my attacks. He's just like, you know what, I'm gonna go all in. Nothing he can do. Like, if I defend against his blackmail artist attack and he fails to proc it, and I attack him and he doesn't defend twice, and one of them's with the Ring of Water, then he loses like 3 honor and doesn't gain any. It's a big deal. I think it's really important to threaten Scorpion with Dishonor whenever you're playing them. So I'm thinking about maybe I'll move in one of my guys here. I'm thinking about like can I win this? Is it worth winning this? He's got 8 cards in hand. I have 8 cards in hand. I don't have a lot of buffs. I really just have like utility stuff and cavalry reserves, which I can't afford right now. So I do decide to move him in because it'll tie. It'll force him to use cards, and ideally, hopefully, I'm gonna get my trader online soon, and then I can snowball the card differential pretty hard. I also do still have a charge. I could charge in my warrior poet if I wanted to, and be a swing of 3. So that's pretty good. I think he kind of failed this. He should have used Yunako to switch the border rider and force me, but whatever, you know. So I bow one of the blackmail artists because the blackmail artists, the stats don't actually matter. All that matters is they're in the battle when you win, and so I felt like that was a pretty good use of resources. And that was my military attack. Just kind of biding my time. I have to defend a lot because I only have 2 provinces left. If he breaks either one of them, he's on my stronghold. It's not great for me, especially because I'm running entrenched. And so breaking politically on a 5 strength province is not that difficult. I don't want him to avoid me that much, but I also want a second attack. I'm going to cloud the actress so that he has no defenders. Hopefully. He might have some, I guess he has the adept in his hand, but you know, he might not want to play it. And it's like, you know, whatever. Yeah, he's like sad face. I wanted to ride her. I totally understand that. I chose not to. Oh no, I did change it to military, so that I think the blackmail artist cannot proc on military. And then I defend with my two, you know, weenies. Like, I mean, you know, I'd like to win, but whatever. It doesn't actually matter. Okay, so he's gonna frustrate my rider. I feel like my rider's gonna be around for a few turns, so I just choose to bow it instead, since I think that I'm gonna lose this conflict regardless with 7 cards in hand, and I don't really have anything that I want to play. I could, again, I could charge in the Warrior Poet. It's probably not worth it. Well, maybe I'm gonna charge in the Warrior Poet. I don't really think that charging in the Warrior Poet is actually worth it. Yeah, I just pass. Because, like, whatever, he's going to remove a Fate. He chooses to remove it from the trader because the Border Rider's going to be around for, like, 3 turns regardless. And I agree with that, basically. I think playing the trader was a mistake because I didn't really have any way to proc it. And actually, maybe if I played the Warrior Poet instead, maybe I would have won this game because I think that is a pretty significant mistake. Or if I just saved the Fate and played the trader next time. Oh yeah, so he plays a Stoic Gunso here. I'm like, holy shit. Oh, and yeah, I do end up charging the poet because it was worth. So it was worth it. I don't want him to break if I can stop him from breaking, and he's going to be at 8. So here I go to 4, and then with the warrior poet, I deny him. I mean, I don't totally deny him, but basically deny him the break, unless he has like a bonsai, which apparently he doesn't. It's like he's like, oh, I'm sad. I'm like, come on now, you're winning so hard. I don't feel bad for you at all. Okay, so we're just talking. He's gonna sacrifice this guy. I'm gonna warrior poet, and he has nothing else. So then, I'm gonna go for Ring of Earth. Now it's nice. I know he has the adept in his hand because he had it before, but he can't play it now. I'm gonna go for Ring of Earth, even though I do like Ring of Air. I like Ring of Air a lot, but I'm already lower honor than he is. So all I'd be doing is negating his stronghold. I don't know. Ring of Earth felt more important. I need to get a spyglass. I need to get favored mount. There's stuff I need. The other nice thing about charging the warrior poet is it becomes a cavalry reserves target, and I know he's used like 2 forged edicts already, maybe even 3. No, I think he hasn't used the 3rd one yet. But I think it would have been in his interest to just let public forum break here. But like most players, he thinks that the ability on it is cool. And and I discard his Adder Shadows, which makes me pretty happy. Yeah, that's why Ring of Earth is so powerful. Not only is it's twice the effect of Ring of Air, because Ring of Air gives them takes 1 honor from them, which is what you have to do to draw 1 card. Ring of Earth discards a card from their hand, draws a card from your hand, so it's twice as powerful. And in a lot of ways, I think it's the best ring. Like sometimes you need water or fire to debuff them or bow someone. Sometimes you need void to get rid of something like a really big threat on the board. But if you can ever get Earth, I think it's the best ring. I think it's just straight up, it's just better than other rings. And, you know, I mean, think about it this way: if we both bid 5 every single turn, and for 4 turns I get Ring of Air or Ring of Earth, then at the end of 4 turns, we've got 24 cards, except that I have 28 cards and you have 20 cards. And in this game, where there's a small card pool and you're often trading stat boosts, having 8 additional cards is a big deal. I put the Mia Mystics in because I think what I experience in playing this deck is that the trader always gets clouded and then I'm sad. Thinking about playing Satoshi here. The thing is, I want to play Cav Reserves, I want to play the Wayfinder, I want to play the Reprieve. Like there's a lot of things I want to play, and I'm not really sure. Like the flop is not ideal for me. I don't really want to play Satoshi right now. He's too expensive. I don't want to play the Mystic. There's no attachments worth killing. I was thinking about playing it anyway to prevent another Reprieve, but then I was like, well, he probably doesn't have one. I don't know. I only want to pay 2 for the Mystic if I'm really sure that I'm going to get some value out of it. Yep, he's going to add to Hero Away. I get another Mystic, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And then I can pass for Fate, which is nice for me. He's going to go first, so he could take the Air Ring and take that 2 juicy Fate, which I would not like very much. He also has Hero Way, which, is really, really disruptive. But I do have the Border Rider, which is nice. I do have Cavalry Reserves, so he can't really control all the things I can do, and the Trader is kind of useless anyway. So whatever. Let's Seal the Unicorn, Watch Commander, Ornate Fan, and Assassinate. And Assassinate's pretty good here. You'd think, oh, Joshua, you can't assassinate. That's crazy. But I really think that I can because he's probably going to use his Stronghold first, unfortunately. But it basically means that he has no good assassinate target right now. Like, he's just wasting 3 honor if he assassinates me right now. I mean, he gets 1 less turn to the Border Rider, but basically he has no assassination targets. And it puts me under him in honor. And that's really where you want to be. When you're playing Scorpion. Against Scorpion, you want to be 1 honor underneath them all the time. And sometimes 2, just to... and ideally, you want to be there such that... Or you want to be way above them. Like, it's okay if they're at 3 and you're at, 13 or whatever. That's pretty cool, but... you don't want to be at, like, 6 when they're at 3. I guess. You really want to be at 2 when they're at 3. And the other benefit of assassinating the blackmail artist is that he can't steal an honor with it, which is cool. So I'm gonna do Satoshi, and I'm gonna put a Watch Commander on Satoshi, and then because now I can assassinate him, and he has to pay honor to Edict and do other stuff, and he is gonna pay quite a bit of honor to do things in this matchup. He's also, well, you'll see. So he's gonna dishonor Satoshi. I don't really care. He's gonna for shame Satoshi. So now he's down. So first he plays. So I assassinate. Oh yeah. That's right. He court games me to dishonor me, and I court games myself to re-honor myself, and he forged edicts it. Then he bows me. Then I policy debate with the Ornate Fan Watch Commander Satoshi on his Blackmail Artist. And I'm thinking about, like, I don't think he can really afford to play Assassinate at this point. He's got 4 honor. He can't afford the Fate Worse Than Death, although perhaps I should have discarded it because it did win the game for him later. Court Mask, I thought about it, but I just didn't think it was worth it. In the end, I decided the Stoic Gunso was the biggest threat this turn. He still has a military conflict. He has plenty of people to sacrifice. He has exactly enough to cast it. Stoic Gunso seemed like a good card. I think it's possible that Fate Worse Than Death would have been a better pick just because it's so powerful in a Dishonor strategy. Because you can open up, you can remove Fate from people, open up an unopposed, and give them Dishonored all at the same time. So now I'm going to assassinate the Blackmail Artist. Because I'm already going to lose 1 honor as it is, and he's going to gain 1 honor as it is. This way I prevent the break, right? Which is great. I really need to prevent breaks as much as possible, because as it stands, he has to kill me through Dishonor, or he has to start breaking things. And I'm really in a pretty good position. I've got double Cav reserves, and I've got crazy, really, really good targets for Cav reserves. I don't have the trader I need, but I've got the seals. I've got Watch Commander. Yeah, so he's just trying to commit to this break as much as possible. And I think, how did I stop this break somehow? Oh, maybe I don't. I feel like I stopped this break though. Oh, because here's what happens. I pass, and then he gets greedy. He pulls in the Border Rider because he wants to dishonor him, and he's still breaking. I'm like, well, now my one military or my one political wayfinder seems better. I don't really care. It's annoying that the Border Rider's dishonored, but it's not a huge deal. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm definitely because, the value of him not being able to attack my stronghold is big. First of all, he doesn't know what's under it, although he could probably guess, but he really doesn't know. And I have a lot more pressure once he figures out my stronghold is. And I should have noted the public forum. I decided that his last one was meditations. It's actually secret cache, and that was a big misplay by me by attacking secret cache because I could have. I guess I had no. I think I shouldn't have broken public forum. Maybe that was maybe a mistake because I break public forum soon, and I don't have a lot of options. Problem. I mean, that's what the trouble with Scorpion is though. They just have so many really good provinces. Like you just don't have a lot of options a lot of the time. And sometimes secret cache. If you're gonna hit something twice, maybe secret cache is the best thing. Secret cache are shameful, right? Because you don't want to hit pilgrimage twice. That's for sure. But really, you should be trying to keep that province open as long as possible, and you should be using that. Like when you're planning on breaking, you attack a different province. When you're planning on getting a ring effect, you attack your safe province. Because wait, someday Scorpion's gonna get a fourth crazy province, like not meditations, but like maybe like a secret cache or shameful level display or a province, and it's oh man, it's gonna be bad. All right, so I'm doing military air to put him down to one, put a lot of pressure on him, and it also means he can't take it from me. He's got to defend here because I kill him if he doesn't. He's thinking about, I've got one defender for his military attack. Okay, so I just put the seal on the trader because why not? I'm just trying to draw cards a little bit because I'm really like I'm hunting, and he's got no forged edicts left. He's used his third one. He used his third one on the court games. So I cavalry reserves. I get my second border rider to defend with, um, or attack with, depending on what he does. And he has to defend because I'm going to win this conflict. I'm going to break public for him. I should have gone to pilgrimage. I definitely should have gone to pilgrimage. Um, Especially because I wasn't planning on breaking my second attack. That was a misplay. I think I could have easily won this game because it was a very, very close game. And, I made misplays. I attacked secret cache. In a minute, I'm going to attack secret cache, and that's a mistake. Thinking that it's going to be meditations. What was another mistake? Oh, playing the trader. I think that playing the trader was a big mistake because I didn't have the setup for it in my hand. And I'm sure there's another one. Okay, so yeah, he's going to attack me here with the Zichiruma Skirmisher, but I don't care because I'm a 4 honor, and like, what's he gonna do? He's gonna take. I think he's gonna take Earth Ring, which is actually kind of annoying, but whatever, doesn't matter. He doesn't discard anything important. Or maybe he's gonna take Void Ring. I don't know. Yeah, he might be trying to void out Satoshi. Yeah, I think he does void out Satoshi, which actually makes a lot of sense because turns out watch commanders are quite good. I also took air because I think it had 2 fate on it at 3143. Yeah, it had 2 fate. So I really think that air was the right choice, even though it kind of screws me because it would have been better to have Satoshi for another turn. You should note that I do not have Keeper Initiates in the deck at this point. I didn't realize they weren't in. Satoshi's quite a bit better with Keeper Initiates, and Keeper Initiates would have been really good in this game. Again, one of those things like I probably could have won if. This guy isn't the most skilled player ever, but he's decent. He's playing, a pretty good deck. And Scorpion is hard. Okay, so he gets Void. Yeah, he voids out Satoshi. And then I'm like a little worried that I'm not going to be able to beat his Outcast, but I forgot that I actually have one political plus the favor, and then I have a court game, so I can dishonor his guy. So that's what I'm going to do. Because he's got an honored Yunako. and so I want him to stay at 1. Although actually, it's. I think in hindsight, I should have saved my court games because if we start the turn and he's at 2 and I'm at 2, he can't steal from me with his stronghold, and he's gonna. I can attack with Ring of Air. Yeah, I think I made some misplays here. There was definitely some merits uh, to. I guess I could honor my own guy. Like the real reason to honor it was so that I could get the Ring of Earth, which was pretty nice. But he wasn't going to play the assassination anyway, and I don't need the talisman. The talisman of the sun isn't very good anymore because when could put it to meditations. It's 0 fate hero way, right? It is a +1/+1 for 1, but it doesn't matter enough. All right, so I discard everything because I don't really need anything. Oh, I keep 1 Mia Mystic because I'm thinking about discarding his court games, and I figure 3 is enough. Okay, so I get another Satoshi, Motojuro, and Giver of Gifts. Really not the flop I was looking for. I play the Mystic, and then I just call it, I think, because I want the Fate. That might have been a mistake. Maybe I should have played one of the other two, but I don't know. I just was like, okay, I'm gonna Cav Reserves. I'm gonna have an extra Border Rider. I've got 2 Reprieves. I've got Talisman. Like, I've got stuff. So I bid 2, hoping that I can be at 1 and he can be at 2. But of course, I know he does have the Manipulator, so that was never gonna happen, I guess. I mean, possibly I should have bid 1. Because he drew into something that was pretty good for. Oh, he drew into a bonsai, which was really good for him. I draw into 2 favored mounts, which is not what I'm looking for at this point. So basically, my hand is pretty garbage. Like, other than the Cav Reserves, I don't really have any of the stuff that I really want. Haven't seen any spyglasses except for the I got the 1 spyglass on the first turn that got ditched. So this really it should have been a terrible game. I got the trader, but I didn't really get to use him at all. I used him once, I think. Um, like this game should have gone terribly for me because my shuffle did not go well. So he attacks me with, so I'm attacking him with water. Now at the time, I think this is a good idea because I'm gonna cavalry reserves. I'm gonna have extra guys to unbow with the border riders are gonna unbow. I'm gonna bow his social illusionist. He's not gonna have anything that he can do. But in hindsight, I should have done air because it forces him to use his stronghold, and then I still get air, and we're still at 2 and 1 because he kills me with the air ring in a second. And even if he had attacked back with the fire ring, I have 2 reprieves in hand. Like there's no way that he's going to. There's just no way that he's going to dishonor me this turn, other than me being at 1 honor and him getting the ring of air. So I think I misplayed this. It seemed like a good idea at the time. I didn't want him to get ring of water. I didn't want him to have 2 attacks, but I think that possibly I could have actually won this turn. But whatever. What I ended up doing is the border rider and the 2 Moto youth, and yeah, the children of the plains. Yeah, and Moto Youth is like really sweet. Yeah, I went to Pilgrimage because I'm planning on breaking it. I don't really think he can do anything about it, and he can't. Even if it's just so he has to make up like 7, even with his 1, 2, 6. I don't think he can. Okay, so I do water. I bow the manipulator now. And then he just attacks me, and I just, yeah, I defend with all my stuff. But he's got a fate worse than death, which, because I didn't discard it earlier, he's got 4 fate because he didn't need to play a lot of fate. And I've got a bunch of stat boosts, but they're not like good stat boosts. And in the end, I am exactly tied with him. I needed 1 more card. So if I could have played one more card, I think I could have won because, well, I don't know, and I don't have keeper initiate. So I made a lot of mistakes this game. So, but I hope that's useful. You know, I think I got unlucky. He got lucky. I misplayed. He misplayed. But this is kind of how I try to play into Scorpion. And I think that Scorpion is, you know, it feels hard to play into, and it can be hard to play into. But there's a lot there. There's a lot that you can do to be proactive. You can, you know, you have to understand the best way to play against Dishonor is to know how to play Dishonor. Because you know, he's asking me what Scorpion's weakness is, and I said I don't think Scorpion really has a weakness. Um, oh yeah, I never drew a captive audience. That would have been pretty useful. Certain. Um, yeah, I think that the Scorpion's weakness is they play a very dangerous game, and you have to be able to play it as well as they can. I think. So, all right, so that's the game. And then I changed it out so that I have some keeper initiates because, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I also went to I went to 3 Talisman of the Sun. I might go back to 2, but I often find that one of them gets axed. I'm trying to get rid of more events in my deck. It's like I don't necessarily like Fallen in Battle is pretty cool. All these events are cool, but I don't really need them, and I just like Voltroning kind of. So that's where I am. All right, hope you enjoyed that.